and put it up later onto the radio. And then we do a clever thing where we all have to. Hopefully, everyone doesn't mind being seen, but we share it onto our Facebook because we've got a few people who don't join in but do like to watch what's going on, which is nice of them, really. But
Hello, Malcolm.
Hello.
But anyway, for those of you that don't know, I met Alison. Is it about 4 years ago, Alison, when you were playing at 81 Renshaw Street?
I think it's probably longer, you know.
Is it really?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
I looked a lot younger on that photo that you put up, and I thought, oh my goodness,
that's
5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Right. It's just going out onto our Facebook, and then we can say hello to everyone, and we're going to play Alison's last single. Then she's very kindly agreed to play 2 or 3 songs live for us. Then we can all have a little chat. And then we're going to play another song off her CD, and she can play another couple of songs. It sounds sort of like it should work doing it that way, doesn't it? So we've got some lovely people joining us. We've got Brian Gibson, a Liverpool artist, a bit of a singer himself, and like myself, used to help out at Radio Merseyside. Liverpool singer-songwriter Andrew Hesford's up there watching with us. Liverpool Sound and Vision, the best review site, at least in the Northwest, if not elsewhere. Ian D. Hall.
It's the best review site in this area.
Exactly.
It is house.
Yeah. Alban O'Brien, who's a friend of mine from my Formby bookshop days. Who's
Tony Higginson groupie.
A groupie, yes. A teacher, a poet, and a literary aficionado. A wonderful chap called John Jenkins, who's a very, very good singer-songwriter. In fact, I don't know how John has time to join in with things like this, because he's always recording, writing, touring, performing.
I had to cancel a rehearsal for this.
Oh, well, you're very kind. Well, you were in Nashville recently, weren't you? Weren't you playing in Nashville via Zoom?
And Alison was. We played the Bluebird Cafe, didn't we?
How cool is that?
Good, yeah.
That must be such a thrill being able to play Nashville I know it's via Zoom, but you can do it through Zoom. And that must be such a thrill for people to be part of that connection.
It was fun, but it was stressful.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, we're over the stress now. And we've got Mr. and Mrs. Manning, who are down there, who have just joined us.
That's right.
And Christine as well. So we've got some lovely people with us. I'm going to share my screen so we can play Alison's single, The Song of the Liver Bird. So, Alison, before we play it, just tell us a little bit about Liverpool Singer-Songwriter Challenge, the Liverpool Songwriting Challenge, and then we'll play the song for you.
Okay, so the Liverpool Songwriting Challenge is an annual challenge where people are invited to look at a piece of artwork. Originally it was in the View 2 Gallery, which no longer exists, unfortunately. So you picked a piece of artwork from the View 2 Gallery and then wrote a song about it. And you have like a month from the launch to entering the song. So that was that. And then since the gallery closed, it's now a piece of art from anywhere in the Merseyside area, really. So you can be outdoors, indoors, as long as it's public. So that's that. So I wrote a song based about the liver birds. I'm sorry, you've got my little cat here. The liver birds, and the idea of them being like back to back. And I thought, because I like making up stories really, and I thought, imagine if they were in love with each other, but they're sort of positioned always back to back, so can never express that. So it's a bit of a love song for each other and also for the city of Liverpool.
Oh yeah. So I hope everyone watching here and anyone who's watching through Facebook Live really gets to enjoy this, because the one thing I can tell you is Alison is one of the best singer-songwriters we've got, and this song won the Liverpool Songwriters Challenge. And a bit later on, Alison's said we can play a couple of tracks off her CD, Paths and Stories, as well. But let's start with this.
could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love to you. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love to you. So high we sit, not face to face, me to the sea, the cities race, sentinels set apart, keeping secrets inside my heart. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love to you. Through the war my heart was torn, fear for my love, my city forlorn. Children leave and how you cry as the bombs they fly. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love to you. Forever together, always apart, a cruel design in the name of art, that we should love and watch and see, but never, sweetheart, you see me. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love. If I could fly from off this perch, see 100 different worlds, I would return, always return, my love to you. To you.
Awesome.
Is that not stunning?
Thank you.
Apologies for the start.
It's all right.
I'd loaded up Zoom earlier, and you have to do something to share sound, and inadvertently I must have closed Zoom down and opened it up again. So apologies to everyone for a minute or two of everyone going, I can't hear anything. The problem is, as the host, you can hear what's on your own computer, you see. So you're the last to know when there's anything going wrong. So you can unmute yourselves, folks, because I think we all should say something to Alison before she performs for us. Brian Alban, and Chris and Mr. Manning.
I was going to say, you played the recorder on that, didn't you, Alison, or the flute?
Yeah, I play the flute on that. Yeah, it's a ukulele, flute, and mandolin, and I play them all.
Are you both voices on it, Alison, or was it?
Yeah, I'm both the voices. Yeah, which is a bit weird, but I am.
It works though, doesn't it? It does. John, have you ever done that? Played you twice in a song?
Right. Do you mean double track
Yeah,
myself or?
yeah.
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 Yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
He'll have to go off and check
Oh.
his own CDs later.
No, I mean, there's a couple of songs that I've sang. There's the song called Silhouettes. I've done a vocal twice
Yeah.
on it. It depends on the song, really,
Yeah. No, it does work, because I think the thing when you individually, as an individual singer, perform live, you can only be just you, unless you're really good with loops and pedals. You can only be the best that you are at that time. When you're in the studio, you've got the flexibility of thinking, oh, I could put another voice over here, and the flute is lovely, isn't it? So, Mr. Manning down at the bottom, because you're Mr. Manning's on mute. Hold on. How can we unmute him? Bottom left of your screen.
Unmute.
He's got it. So
Right.
you're a bit of a fan of local music. Any thoughts on that wonderful song?
Alison, well, I was there on the night when she won, and we heard it for the first time. I'm a bit disappointed that you didn't play Alison's video, because it was done by a really fantastic cameraman.
Was, yeah.
Okay. Well, we can rectify that later.
He was hired specially for the event.
Yeah,
We
that's right. Yes,
load up
We
onto
would.
YouTube later. So I'm sure we can find it on the Liverpool Acoustic. Alison's got a face. You've got your own YouTube page, haven't you, Alison?
I have, yeah.
So we will make sure we share that on.
I think it's actually on. I think that video that John's talking about must be on Liverpool Acoustics.
on the Liverpool
Yeah.
I
Acoustic.
would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's a wonderful setup, Liverpool Acoustic, and
That's brilliant.
it's been going a good while now, and every year they have up to this year anyway. They have so many people come and perform live, and they get together, do open mics. That is where I met you, Alison, in Renshaw Street.
Yeah.
You were one of the people performing, and we all got chatting afterwards. And I said, "Oh, I do a radio show," and
That's right. Yeah.
you came on your
right.
own, and I think
Do you know, I
came
think
on
he
with-
was in that cafe actually.
The Baltic.
was it the Baltic? Was it?
I'm not sure if it was the one on is it Dale Street? It was like the Courtroom Cafe, I think it might
Oh,
have
it could
been
be.
there.
Could be. Yeah.
I'm not too
And
sure.
It might there for a while, yeah.
Kevin Turley came on the one night when you were on. We had Kevin Turley on.
That's right, yeah.
But I bet you and John and everyone who's into, and Andrew, I bet you're just itching for May the 15th or whatever the date is, aren't you?
To get out and sing in public.
Yeah. Well, you were.
I need a second jab yet.
For those of you that aren't friends with Alison on Facebook, in proper lockdown, not this pretend one we've had since Christmas, she was out every Thursday for the Clap for Carers.
Oh yeah.
And she was in the street where she lives, and there she was, stood in the street with a ukulele, singing away for 5-10 minutes every Thursday.
And I was my neighbour as well.
And it was absolutely beautiful.
I did
Andrew,
that as well.
you did it as well.
Did you do it as well?
I was
Yeah.
playing the guitar,
Yeah.
but it was one of those things where it was kind of ironic, because I could clap for carers, but I was working, until retire for the NHS, and so it meant that, aren't you meant to be on your doorstep receiving it rather than giving it? I said, well, okay, then the compromise was I went out and played guitar,
Yeah.
which I used a remote device to do it, and I will admit, I mean, the response was good, but I didn't want to do anything. Oh, I think I'll do something like knocking on heaven's door or something.
Oh, no.
Very jolly stuff. But I can imagine, Alison, you got quite a good response too. People really.
Yeah. What we did was, me and a guy who lives over the road, Warren. I knew he sang. He's part of Warrington Male Voice Choir, and so I thought it'd be really nice if he fancied doing it, rather than just doing it on my own. So I put a note through his door and left my number and said, if you fancy doing this, let me know. And I thought, he might not get back to me, and then he did, and he said, oh yeah, but it'd be great to do that. So each week we practiced just one song a week, something new that we thought was like upbeat and that people would know, and kind of a positive kind of feel to it. And then every time there was the clap, we just then moved to the middle of the road and sang, and most of the neighbours stayed out. No one booed us or told us to get back indoors or anything.
Oh,
So it
no.
was, it was a nice thing to do.
It was
And it was a nice way of making a new friend in the neighbourhood as well. It's got,
Yeah.
I got a
really
couple
nice
of
friends.
I wanted to do it, but Lynn threatened to lock the door behind me
I'd like to
and
see my
she said, "The neighbours, John."
I
There's a
told
song for you to write, John. You and Alison, you need to jot these things down. Andrew does. Andrew makes notes when we do Zooms.
I wouldn't mind, but our neighbours are horses.
There you have it. Wasn't that an echo in the Bunnymen song? Someone did a song about horses, didn't they?
Oh God,
Smith.
Who
I'm
was
not
it?
going to go into detail, but I was
Patsy
related
Smith.
by marriage once to Ian McCulloch.
Yeah.
I won't go there.
So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to do the clever bit where we put Alison on Spotlight, which means that we all get Alison in the middle of the screen. And, if we can all mute ourselves in about two or three secs, because I think what we all should do is just let Alison tell us a little bit about what she's going to sing for us. It's up to you whether you want to do 2 now and 3 later.
I'll do 2. I'll start with 2. I'll
Do
start
2
with
now
2.
and do 2 or 3 later.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
anyone else on Facebook? This is our friend Alison Benson, one of Liverpool's finest singer-songwriters. She'll be blushing now because no one really likes hearing other people say how great someone is at doing something, but it's part of the job, really. And like I said, I met Alison 4 or 5 years ago. She's been our guest on the radio a couple of times in the past when she's been working on songs, been out performing, and to have a CD out which came out in lockdown, it's a little bit of a way of a few people perhaps thinking, oh, that sounds good. Oh, I can get that off Alison's website or iTunes or where else is it available, Alison?
It's just everywhere.
Anywhere you
Anywhere you
can
can
download music, you can put Alison's name in. There's the single we played at the start, Song of the Liver Bird. The new CD is called Paths and Stories, which you're having a bit of a party for on Sunday night, aren't you?
Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock, so it's Paths and Stories' first birthday.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was we had a launch event planned for it, and it was me and the Folk Doctors were playing at that 81 Renshaw Street. It was very exciting, and then obviously it just all got cancelled. So I ended up doing an album launch, in the spare room where I am now, just so that was like something, otherwise it just was going to launch without anything.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I thought, you know what, we should have a birthday party for it as well. So
Yeah.
people will have to bring their own cake, of course.
So that's 4 or 4:30 on Sunday, Alison?
4 o'clock.
4
o'clock.
And that's on your
Yeah.
Alison Benson Music Facebook page.
Facebook page, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's-
you'll share that to me and to Ian and people to
I will do,
share
yeah.
on. So if we all share it, and anyone who's free, please, sign in.
Yeah,
Watch
please
Alison.
do. Yeah.
So is Ultan and John going to join in on Sunday? Are they going to join in?
No, we've not managed to sort of work something like that out. But we did say, when it all got cancelled a year ago, that at some point in the future we would do a sort of double headliner.
There's going to be.
So we will do something,
Yeah, there's going to be some great parties going on from the summer onwards, aren't there? Going to be. Right. So if we can all mute. Oh, 1 sec, Andrew. Were you saying? Was it John? Did someone say something then? Did I miss someone now? Okay, folks. If we all mute ourselves, so Alison can tell us a little bit about what she's going to do and play 2 songs for us. So thank you very much.
Right, okay, so, the first song I'm going to sing is a song called Sing My Soul. If you've heard me play before, you'll have heard me play this because I always do it, because I quite like it, I think. But it's about this woman called Mary Ward, who was alive sort of during the Elizabethan times. She was a Catholic when it was illegal to be a Catholic. So she was kind of, facing lots of opposition at home, but she was also facing lots of opposition within the church because she believed that women were equal to men and that they should be educated. And she also believed that they had souls, even though some people in sort of Catholic universities at the time were discussing whether women indeed did have an eternal soul. So we wrote this song about her. The reason I know her story is actually because where I work is founded by her. And when we had me and Karen Taylor were on together. It turned out she'd gone to one of our sister schools in Northern Ireland where she's from. So I thought that was a nice link there as well. So I'm saying Northern Ireland. I don't know if she's Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland actually now I'm saying it. But anyway, where she's from. So this is Sing My Soul, and it's the story of Mary Ward. Born into chaos and riots, a family faithful and true, no risk too great for their freedom, not much that they wouldn't do. So I followed their paths and their stories, and I faced fear in this land. I gladly stare death in the eye, for I know I'm safe in God's hands. And my soul sings of freedom, and my soul sings of hope for the poor, the downhearted, the people of my time and beyond. Sing my soul. A stranger in my own country, ideas ahead of my time. I travel to speak out for change, but they tell me my words are a crime. But I will resist being silenced to power. I am not afraid. I'll stay with the weak and the lowly, and suffer with them just the same. And my soul sings of freedom, and my soul sings of hope for the poor, the downhearted, the people of my time and beyond. Sing my soul. In trying to make such a difference, in standing aside from the crowd, challenging, changing, improving, one day it will all come around. The voices that echo through history, whose words were true and sincere, will be remembered forever and treasured throughout the years. And my soul sings of freedom, and my soul sings of hope for the poor, the downhearted, the people of my time and beyond. Sing my soul. Sing my soul. There you go. So that was Sing My Soul. And then...
I'll do that again.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
I could see it, but thank you very much. So the next song I'm going to sing is a song called Reluctant Pilgrim, and I got the name because of the name of the song, because well, I got roped into going on like a walking pilgrimage a couple of years ago to like Holy Island off the coast of Northumbria, and I didn't really want to go, to be honest, and I got roped into it by some of my friends. And one of them said to me, "Oh, you're a reluctant pilgrim," and I went and actually had a really great time. So it was really good. I did a lot of walking and chatted to lots of people. It was really, really lovely. So it was a good experience. So the song's called "Reluctant Pilgrim" with that idea in mind, really using that idea that my friend Lynn gave me. But But the song's really just like musings on life, really, and you know, all the things about life, the good things and the not so good things, I suppose. So I'll play that. Sorry, I'll start again. Is it true we're all reluctant pilgrims, traveling a way we didn't choose? When the path is rocky and I stumble, do I find I've nothing much to lose? Many more have walked this path before me, family and friends have loved and lost. Is a life just measured out in heartbeats? However can we measure what love cost? Step by step, take my hand. Let this sunrise be forever ours. May the days we've had shine forever. Let this sunrise be forever ours. Many are the days and nights I've wandered, staring at the glowing starry skies, wondering what's beyond the light within us, wondering what's the truth and what's a lie. Conversations, questions and their answers, twisted in this wondrous web we spin. When the lights go out and we're alone, where to end and where do we begin? Step by step, take my hand. Let the sunrise be forever ours. May the days we've had shine forever. Let this sunrise be forever ours. Never long enough our time with loved ones, never long enough my time with you. As life begins to worry itself to purpose, back onto the treadmill's what we'll do. Never to forget the golden moments, never to forget the joy you bring. And if ever I was reluctant pilgrim, the journey that you give makes my heart sing. Step by step, take my hand. Let the sunrise be forever ours. May the days we've had shine forever. Let this sunrise be forever ours. Yeah. Thank you.
Alison, that is just as spectacular as the other one, to be honest. But
Thank you.
I mean, do you find it easy to write these songs?
It depends really. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the zone and I'll write a song, and other times I don't. So it does just depend really on you know, where I'm up to, what's going on, I think.
So what, Mr. Manning's holding something up for us all to see there.
Yeah. 2009 audience winner.
Oh yeah.
Alison Benson. It was a very, very close thing. If I can just hang on. It was a very close thing, wasn't it, Alison?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
You just managed to scrape a
Yeah.
win. How
I
many
was.
votes? She's the green one.
I'm the green
Has
one.
a rocket.
On the rise, yeah.
The Empire State Building.
I remember being really surprised about that because there was lots of younger people in the competition, and I thought probably they're more tech savvy, you know, and would get their mates to vote really, which is understandable, you know. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. Sometimes when people actually genuinely listen to each song and sit there and think, if I knew nobody who was singing these songs and I can listen to them all and pick one I like, that's why the right song wins competitions, isn't it? I mean, John will know this. John's entered competitions and all sorts. You know, I mean, the right things happen, don't they? Sometimes.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Graham will turn around and say it's not a competition; it's a challenge. So the idea really is everyone's a winner because you've written a song based on a piece of art. But obviously, when it comes to those the finals and stuff like that, it does become a competition, obviously, because it's you've got judges who actually sort of mark it and score it and stuff like that, But what I would say for anyone, I don't know if anyone else is listening,
Oh, there's
but
people on Facebook. Cal
yeah,
Ruddy watching.
yeah, I would say as much as Alison's won 3 times and stuff like that don't give up if you've entered. Don't think Alison's going to win it next year.
Judging next
Because
year instead of winning, isn't she?
sometimes it's just a matter of people's opinions.
yeah.
I have conversations with John Lawton, who's one of the judges, and I submit songs I've missed a couple, but I've submitted songs that didn't get into the final, and I've asked him about it, and he'll say something like, well, it did have a chorus, and I said, well, I suppose I have a chorus. So it depends on people's takes on stuff, really.
I think for what you guys are doing as songwriters, as opposed to pop songs, not having a chorus is what I would be thinking. You want the song to tell a story, not keep repeating itself. Surely, I mean.
Well, again, I don't want to hog the limelight here, but I've just joined the Nashville Songwriters Association International, and it's it's for people around the world, not just people based in Nashville. And what it does, it gives you an opportunity to pitch songs to Nashville publishers and to get feedback from some of these people that work in the industry, but there is a way of writing a Nashville song for the start, and you do need a chorus, and you've got to get to the chorus very quickly. You can't actually sort of stick around too long, with a little bit of an instrumental
That's the
before
catch and the hook syndrome, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah, but that's if you want to write a Nashville song. If you're going in for competitions and stuff like that, you've got to be. You really need to, or you want to critique it. You really need to do a little bit of sort of research. I'd say probably to sort of see what you think they would probably want. But if you're a songwriter, you don't. I don't know about you, Alison, but you just write something that. You've got to please yourself first before you please an audience. If you're not pleasing yourself, then there's no point even doing it. Really.
Yeah, that's very true. Because I work mostly with writers ahead of musicians. Primarily, it's the radio that brought me to meet people like yourselves and got me to be able to play local music. But the big advice of anybody writing a book is write what you want to read and write your own words and story. Never think about who's going to read it. Ian down at the bottom is an accomplished writer. You know, he's three volumes of poetry, 3 novels, more on the way because he's had time to do some writing. Are you with us there, E? Have you frozen up again? I think you might have frozen. Alison, anyway, back to yourself. So, I mean, you grew up. Were you always humming a tune and singing when you were little? I mean, your mum and dad musical? Tell us a little bit about that.
The family is quite musical, really. So, well, my granddad played. So my mum's dad played the violin. I never met him actually. He died before I was born, but there's lots of great stories about him playing the violin and singing. And apparently he met my nan when he was playing in a band at some sort of Irish club or Irish night in Liverpool. So that's a nice little story. So yeah, we were quite a musical family really. My mum plays the organ in her church and plays the piano. So we always had music around us growing up really, various instruments in the house. So all of us play and sing to varying degrees. I'm the youngest of 5, and we all sort of do
5.
Really.
So
yeah.
you could have been the Osmonds.
Could have been, yeah. I think our tastes are all a little bit too varied to form a band, really. But so we sort of always had that, really. I did a bit of songwriting when I was, I don't know, sort of mid to late teenagers kind of years, and then I stopped for a while, really. But I did
work and life takes over.
Yeah, I mean, I did my degree in music, but I didn't really do any songwriting through that, and and I've always played. But it's only sort of the last, 7 years really that I've done a bit more songwriting.
Do I remember rightly you studied theology, music and English? Is that what you...
No, I did music with theology and religious studies.
Music with...
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, so there's obviously a bit of a strong church/religious background behind you, isn't there, by the sound of it?
Yeah, so we're from, a Catholic family really,
Yeah. Well, I think lots of us are around here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Whether we all admit to it or not, I think lots of us are or were, yeah. But so we're going to play another song off your new CD.
Great.
Now, you did tell me there were 3 to pick from, but which of those 3 would you like us to play?
I'll go for the 3 I've suggested. Just there's a bit more music on them than just me and ukulele, I suppose. So,
Yes, yeah.
I'd go for the Price of Salt.
Yeah, okay. We shall. Oh, hold on. Oh, no, it's all right. It's because I've clicked. Let's. No, we're doing it again. Oh, sorry about this.
Eyes across the room, your blonde hair, your lipstick red. I never felt so far, never felt so soon. My heart lost, all forgotten who came before. It's just you now, it's just you. Flung from space, you called me. I answered. Flung from space, and you loved me. You loved me. Time for scandal. Such sacrifice for love. No room to run, no room to fear. Hope is gone now. Just a chance to heal my heart in the empty bare room. Flung from space, you called me. close to you, always take my heart in your mystery and glamour. It's just you now, it's just you. Flung from space, called me, I answered. Flung from space, and you loved me. You loved me.
That is just special. That it sounds like you're singing in a slightly different key. Am I guessing rightly or wrongly? It sounds a bit deeper than your normal pitch.
No, I mean it's the key. That's the key I always sing it in. It's in C minor. I don't do a lot of things in C minor. So C is the key of the ukulele. So maybe it's that. Yeah.
It sounds a bit more. I'm going to use the word downbeat. I don't mean to mean that it's got a plaintive sound to it, as opposed to, your general sound to me is lifted up. That sounds a little lifted down. I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, I suppose it's just quite a kind of serious song, isn't it? It's probably the key it's in a bit as well,
But the strings and the keyboard in the background. I mean, when you were saying, "Oh, play a couple of these because there's more to it,"
yeah,
I think that shows what working in a studio and with a producer.
Yeah, and that was John Lawton who put those sounds on.
Well, I mean, I think John Jenkins knows John Lawton quite well, don't you?
Yeah, he
He's
does.
a bit of you work with him a fair bit, don't you, John?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. John's. I think John's now becoming the go-to person really on Merseyside. He can't get in the studio if you want to anymore.
That's probably because it's been closed for 6 months, John.
No, it's he's got very strict COVID.
No, I know.
But no, he's booked. He's fully booked.
Yeah.
For months in advance now, which is great. That's a great sign of success, really. Obviously, people like Alison, people have heard the stuff, and the Folk Doctors and Two Black Sheep and Only Child and all the people that use the studio, and they know that they're going to get quality stuff working on them.
Yeah. Well, it's nice also when a producer like John can work with different types of music and musicians. Sometimes a producer is really good at one thing, but John seems to be good with working with, all genres. He does seem to, because he plays guitar, a brilliant guitarist himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
But
he's a wonderful engineer, I've got my own recording studio in the house, and I haven't touched it for about 5 or 6 years, because if I wanted to program a drum pattern for a song that I'd written, it would take me about a month, and it takes John about 3 minutes to do the whole song. He just knows what it needs.
But, I mean, Alison, you've steered clear of adding like a drum pattern into all of your stuff so far.
Yeah, I've not used any drums. Yeah.
But I think obviously your voice alone is what carries most of what you do. I mean, it must be nice when you can sing. I mean, Alban, my friend over there, sings in choirs. But Alban, do you want to just quickly unmute? Do you sing on your own, or do you only ever sing in a group, in a choir?
Me?
Yeah.
I only ever sing when there's safety in numbers.
Yeah.
Which I like singing. I always have, but I need the support of people around me. Really.
Yeah. See,
So I'm actually in awe of people like Alison.
I know. I'd be the same. I mean, Brian, John, and Andrew all sing with other people, but are more than happy singing on their own. Andrew, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, you're not muted, but we can't hear you. Hold on.
No, I know what it is. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Sorry. I didn't think I could sing. I'd lost a lot of confidence, and I went and joined a choir, and all of a sudden they say, "Actually, you really can sing. Why? Who told you couldn't?" And it was just a confidence thing. And I get asked to sing on other people's things and back in on other people's things, so somehow I can sing. But I would say it's a funny thing. I used to be really self-conscious about it. Now it's a case of first vocal of the day. Oh, who's going to do it? I'll get him to do it. Soft Ollie's here. I have to do it. And there are times when I've ended up where demos have had to be done of other people's stuff, and they've asked me to sing them. I'm not chasing it as a hobby or as a recreational ever. It's just people feel, well, you can get into it. You can sort of develop it and make it sound like something. And all I'm going to do is just muck it up. It's attitude. I mean, I know that having. Oh, you okay there, mate?
Yeah, yeah.
Of Alison and John, and the way Alison sings, it actually reminded me of something. Alison, are you familiar with Judy Collins?
Don't think so. No.
No. Judy Collins did an album which I'm trying to remember the title of, Wildflowers, and there was a track in it called "Since You Asked," and do hear it. And it's got that sort of plaintive, gentle, dreamy quality. And I thought the track we've just heard, "The Price of Salt," you're up there with that. That kind of high standard. It really, really was nice.
Thank you. I'll have a little listen to that.
Oh, you'll like Judy Collins, Alison, definitely. It's nice when you can be recommended to listen to something that you've not heard, and then you go and listen to it, and you go, "Why have I never heard that before?" It's that's a nice thing about musicians. And
Andrew, I heard that you sound a bit like Joan Collins. Is that true?
fan club.
Oh my goodness! No, I've done all sorts of styles. I would say the thing I'm happiest with really is just belting out a song I like, or singing a song, very gently. But I wouldn't say you couldn't put me in sort of, I don't know, a rap duo or anything like that. That'd make it.
Well, you've not tried, you see. We all think we don't like certain things, and maybe it's because we've not been introduced to it and tried. Have you ever done rap, Alison?
No, I haven't at all. But I do really like rap music, and I do always say that. But the musical Hamilton.
Yeah.
So it went on to Disney Plus in July, and so we decided to watch it because we'd heard like amazing things about it, and we have a subscription to Disney Plus. So we thought we'll give it a go, and I had to put the subtitles on to be able to work out what was being said because it's like so fast. But it's absolutely brilliant. It's really, really clever.
Yeah.
But that's as far as my rap life will go.
Oh yeah.
Is
Now,
Hamilton.
my son and daughter are both into Disney Plus and Hamilton, and I'm allowed at 10 o'clock at night to borrow their login because the kids have gone to bed then, so I can sign on and watch Disney Plus. So I've been watching WandaVision. Have any of you seen?
Oh yeah.
Did you like that? Yeah. And Ian was recommending.
I'll take care of yourselves.
Have you got to shoot out, Andrew? Yeah, we shall see you tomorrow.
Take care, Andrew.
Take care.
Have a nice
Good night.
day. Thank you very much indeed.
I think
Thank you.
Ian was recommending the Falcon and something. Is that coming out?
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I must apologise. I missed that most of that because something kicked me out of the screen and just completely out. So I had to reboot and everything. So I missed the third song of Alison. So I do apologise, Alison.
Well, I'm going to.
But in terms, so I do apologise. But yeah, the Falcon and Winter Soldier is very good. But I loved WandaVision. I thought WandaVision was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Have you seen it, Alison? Have you?
I watched the first couple, and I didn't really know what was going on.
No,
and then
that's
someone
it.
said
I agree with that.
You need to know more about the. Is it the Avengers? The Avengers universe, I think, was the phrase that was used. And I thought, oh my goodness, I need to watch more films before I can go back to WandaVision. So it's an ongoing project for me.
No, I've
But we'll get back. I thought it was cool, but I just didn't quite get it.
Yeah. No, I've followed the same path. My son keeps saying, "Dad, you haven't watched Thor Ragnarok," and I'm going, "No, I haven't." No. And he goes, "Well, you'll like it. You watch it." So. So he sends me the link and I sign on at 10 o'clock at night because I'm not having to get up as early, because I am now back at work, but I wasn't for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we're digressing here. I think it would be nice if you don't mind, Alison, if you'd perhaps sing us a couple more
Yeah, of course.
of your own songs. So we will spotlight you again.
Okay, thank you.
Really well. When we press the button in the right order. And please do tell us a little bit about this one and then move on to the next one. So
Okay, well this song is called Time Doesn't Stop, and it's one of the few songs I've written that doesn't have a chorus. It has, I believe it's a refrain instead. And the reason I wrote it was because during the first sort of big lockdown, this guy called Stu Hanna, who is in a folk duo called Megson, was running a songwriting workshop course thing on Zoom, and I thought, oh, well, I really like their music actually, so I thought I'd love to get a bit of insight into how he writes songs and sort of his methods and all that kind of thing. So each week he'd set you some homework and you had to write a song around the homework. So this song, Time Doesn't Stop, is on the theme of time, and you had to pick like different time periods, so it could be like the 4 seasons or whatever it was. It had to be time related. So this one talks about the present, the past, and the future, which I realise sounds a little bit sort of Dickensian in some respects, but it's actually it's loosely based on the story of Back to the Future, which I'm a big fan of. So those of you who are will get, there's just a couple of references that I think you'll probably pick up on. So it's called Time Doesn't Stop. So I shall play that one. The bell didn't toll again after it was hit by a lightning strike. Just before midnight, no more time measured since that night. How were our lives shaped by things that happened long before our birth? Forever will our lives be shaped by where we're placed upon this earth, because the time doesn't stop for anyone. No, the time doesn't stop for anyone. I dreamed that I was young again, learning how the world would let me be. I barely recognized myself. Life so changed, a stranger now to me. I could not believe the same, although I'd always had faith before. Sometimes now I wonder which of us deserves much more, because the time doesn't stop for anyone. No, the time doesn't stop for anyone. A vision of my future, my family, and how the world would look. But can I know what lies ahead? Is it really written in a book? I was filled with hope for a humanity that had a greater heart. I would go back to that place this time to play my part, because the time doesn't stop for anyone. No, the time doesn't stop for anyone. No, the time doesn't stop for anyone. you go. So that's that one. So yeah, so you might have caught the Back to the Future references, but that's what that one was kind of about, really, and just about time, and that doesn't stop, I guess. Yeah, so that's that one. Shall I do another one? So this song is like I said earlier, I love telling stories really through songs, and sometimes they'll be made up ones, and sometimes they'll be real ones. I'm just gonna have a mouthful of water. Sometimes they'll be like real stories, and if a story strikes me, I'll often write a song about it. So I saw something in, like, it was on the BBC News. Like, I read the BBC app just like as I'm getting ready in the morning or whatever, just to sort of make sure I know what's meant to be going on that day. And I saw this article about this old couple who had sort of fallen in love before the war, and then got separated and rejoined years later. Their family reunited them after they sort of got married, they'd had kids, and then sort of re-met each other in their really, really old age. And it's really struck me, this story. And John and I have written a song on a similar theme, actually, John, haven't we? And we took it down a totally different line, me and John. So I thought I'd kind of write a different version of it, really. I think this is maybe a little less sad than our version, John. But still, my mum, when I played it for my mum, she said, "Oh, that's really sad." So it's not meant to be. It's kind of meant to be a bit hopeful, really. But there we go. So I'm going to play it, and I hope you like it, and I hope you don't find it too sad. And I haven't quite learned it, so I'm going to keep looking at the music, if that's okay. So it's called A Second Chance at Love. I think that's what it's called. So young we met, and we fell in love in times of innocence. The war came, we were broken apart. In times of dissonance, and our parents interfered and crafted us different paths, and we had to move on at long last. But in my heart there's a place where our love will always be, and in my heart I believe there's hope for you and me, and we'll have a second chance, a second chance, a second chance at love. We'll find our second chance, a second chance, a second chance at love. Lives we forged with other loves, marriage, families, I knew the pain of losing you. Over time would start to ease, and our children gave us joy, and we would somehow heal, and our children would be the ones, the truth to reveal. But in my heart there's a place where our love would always be, and in my heart I believe there's hope for you and me. We'll find our second chance, our second chance, our second chance at love. We'll find our second chance, our second chance, our second chance at love. Years go and the promise we made to be true. Reunited in our winter, late in life romance, life gave our love a second chance. Because in my heart there was a place where our love would always be, and in my heart I believed there was hope for you and me. Now we found our second chance, our second chance, our second chance at love. Now we found our second chance, our second chance, our second chance at love. There you go.
That was
Second chance at love.
It's so different than your other stuff, though, isn't it? I mean, it sounds like an older song. I mean, did other people think that sounds like
It's a bit
written,
different.
written 30 or
Lovely.
40 years ago?
Yeah.
John, what were you going to say?
It sounded beautiful.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Oh no, I think it must be so lovely to think when I sit down with an idea in my head that I can make it make sense. B, I can make it better by adding the music as well as the lyric, and then to have the confidence to bring it all together. And like Andrew said earlier, or John did about confidence, you know, it's such a wonderful thing to bring all those parts of an idea together. So, I mean, in your future songwriting, are you looking to record with other people more? I mean, have you got ideas that you want to share with other musicians, songwriters?
Well, I mean, like John said, we do a little bit of songwriting together, which is great. But really, John's the only other person I kind of do any playing with, really. To be honest, I sometimes think it'd be great, you know, to find someone to sort of go out and do a little bit of a double act with. But most of the time, I think I just do what I do. You can kind of, you know, fit it in when I've got the time.
Well, that's the problem.
Feel like I've got a lot of it, you know, and that kind of thing. You know, you're not worrying about someone else. But then, it's great to have some, you know, ideas to sort of, you know, like to bat ideas off people and, you know, take a bit of criticism and say, oh, let's change that bit and how about that. You know, I think that's a good thing as well. You know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I watched quite a lot of the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain because you know, when you did the radio a few years ago, you know, we had time to play other stuff as well as your stuff, and they do some great collaborative, different things. There's about 4 different types of ukulele, aren't there? You know, you know, so they've got people who play each different one, and they do work together really well, don't they?
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, it's amazing sound.
And they can do anything from punk to you know, classical, basically. Yeah.
Oh, they do all kinds of stuff, don't they? They're great. Yeah.
If you don't know it, folks, you've got to go and investigate them. I mean, you know, they do. I mean, they do the Buzzcocks and everybody, don't they? Really.
They do all kinds, don't they? They do, yeah. Teenage Dirtbag and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we're going to play another track from the CD, Alison. So which of the other 2 would you?
Well, the other one is called Crystal Ball, but do you know what? It's the one that kept playing before, and it's come up on your thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's time, but it's not called that.
No, when I downloaded it for your CD, because the track lengths were the same as someone else's, so I've got to change the
right.
So, don't worry, it is your song. It's just there's another song with the exact same track length as yours,
right?
Which just confused iTunes. So this is Crystal Ball.
was younger at an antique sale. She who sold it said it was cursed. I bought it all the same. It had traveled through the years, lost and found 100 times. Brought to England by crusaders, it had ruined 1,000 lives. She pressed it in my hand, my fingers curled around. Take it, it'll ruin you too. Pay me a dime, I'll tell you the future. Pay me more, I'll make it come true. This crystal ball knows all our secrets. Its power it holds over me and you. I have used it to win card games. I have stolen, cheated, lied, made my fortune with its crystal capped. It's always at my side. But I tricked all the wrong people, lived life on the run. Nothing as good fortune when you're hunted with a gun. So I live my life in darkness, hear the ticking of the clock. Take it, it'll ruin you too. Pay me a dime, I'll tell you the future. Pay me more, I'll make it come true. This crystal ball knows all our secrets. Its power it holds over me and you. I must get rid of this curse before it kills me. I must be free from its power. Lonely stranger, he'd be perfect. I know he could set me free. Tell his fortune, then seduce him, make him fall in love with me. So that night as he lay sleeping, the moon the only light, I gave him the crystal and quickly took my flight. Did I glance over my shoulder, feel a sense of guilt whispering, it'll ruin you too. Pay me a dime, I'll tell you the future. Pay me more, I'll make it come true. This crystal ball knows all our secrets. Its power it holds. Pay me a dime, I'll tell you the future. Pay me more, I'll make it come true. This crystal ball knows all our secrets. Its power it holds over me and you.
Wonderful. Oh, so you can see the difference in the style and tone between that one and the one we played with that you just played live, though, Alison. I mean, that's got almost like a mariachi groove or something.
Of course it has, really, yeah.
It's
That's,
it's got that sort of sound. Anyway, I don't know what. I mean, John being a musician will probably shoot me down, and I'm totally wrong there. But
No, it does. It's got that. It's very sort of. Oh, yeah. I can hear like a Spanish feel to it. Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's why I said mariachi. It just had that.
Played on like a baritone ukulele, which is a little bit more like, it sounds a bit more like a classical guitar, really. So it's,
Yeah.
maybe that's where that sound's coming from a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Just point out, Tony, because Alison hasn't mentioned it, but when he spoke before about drums and stuff like that,
Yeah.
is we've got a song that we've written for a band called Pillow Talk, haven't we?
Oh, right, yeah, we have, yeah. Yeah.
Which is a 60s song, which is completely not like anything.
So is that
No.
out already or coming?
No, it's still we're still working on it.
Yeah,
It's a work in progress, but it sounds really nice so far.
Yeah.
yeah. It must. I mean, the fact that people can now get together in groups of more than one must be something special for anyone who's used to working with a band. I mean, you know, the distance between people for the last year must be the thing that's hurt people the most. Not being able to get together in a group and, you know, jam, play, rehearse. You know, I mean, you guys know more musicians than I do. I mean, you know, are they all tearing their hair out still?
Probably, yeah. I think a lot of people are, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping to do a live stream with the James Street Band, and we had this sort of nearly set up, and then the second lockdown happened, and it just it just hasn't happened, you know.
Well, have you not got something penciled in for when lockdown's over? Did I see something you shared on your Facebook?
Yeah, there's a few things really. Me and Alison are playing the Prohibition.
Yeah.
Either September or October. We just got to get the right date, which suits some of the musicians that are playing on the same night. So that's one thing that we both have.
Thornton are they getting up again soon? Over on the Whittle, Thornton Huff?
Not that I know of.
No. Because there were lots of people were playing there before lockdown, weren't they? It was
it's a great
one
venue.
of the go-to places, great little venue, wasn't it?
Well, I think the last thing they did for a live audience was Rob Vincent's, ran up just before Christmas, just before the lockdown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I'm doing a West Kirby Arts Centre gig with the James Street Band.
That's the one I saw you share the other day. So when's that, John?
That's the 24th of June. And it's that's a charity thing for Whittle Wave Radio.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be the first time we played the James Street Band for a long time. Yeah. But it's gonna be a bit strange because it's one set, but it's like in two halves. There's a girl, Pippa, you've probably seen her. She goes to all the gigs. She's been playing mandolin and on a few of my tracks, some of my live streams. So we're going to do a few songs, quiet songs, and then the band's going to join us.
Yeah, I watched you. You did something with them on Facebook Live about 2 weeks ago. I saw that. So with Alison, there's a song on the CD that I think is almost like an anthem for the times. The you know, your peace at last.
Oh yeah.
Would that? I mean, do you know that well enough to play that for us now? Is that one?
Yeah.
You can,
yeah. Well, I've not played it for a while, but I reckon I can try and muddle through anyway.
Well, I mean, I was listening to the CD in the car, and then when I got home today, and I thought, you know, after hearing the news about sadly what went on in Bristol, you know, a song like the one you've written just to me says people need to listen to what you're saying about, you know, give peace a chance, basically said in a different way, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so it's the story of a guy called Bert Brocklesby who was alive during the time of the First World War and was a conscientious objector, and that cost him everything really. You know, his family were very unhappy with him. He had a fiancée who left him, and then after the war, really, you know, because of what happened to conscientious objectors, really couldn't, you know, get employed. And he ended up volunteering I think in Austria with people who had you know, were sort of suffering the backlash of the war really at that point. And then I don't know beyond that what happened to him really. So the story's really about him. So shall I go for it?
Please do.
See what happens. Start again. Take the life of another, for I believe we are sisters and brothers. No one life can be thought of less, no race or faith considered best, just life for all to live in harmony. People say that I'm afraid to fight. A white feather was given me tonight. Now I'm forced to go to war.
but orders I will still ignore. No threat is great enough for me to fall. Seek peace in every step, seek peace. Spread light and hope in every breath. Tomorrow better for us all. Seek peace. They tried to make me lost in no man's land, to go over the top on their command. I closed my eyes, began to pray. They chained my hands, took me away. No punishment as bad as going to war. And so I'm imprisoned in a darkened cell, just like a soldier prisoned in his trench as well. My life has changed forevermore. So many lives are ruined by war, but I'll continue trying to live in peace. Seek peace in every step, seek peace. Spread light and hope in every breath. Tomorrow better for us all. Seek peace. 100 years on, people still at war. We turn our eyes from horrors that we've seen before, from children killed and maimed and hurt, from lives that others treat like dirt. Humanity is crying out for peace. So take your angry words and still your voice. To hold peace deep in your heart is your choice. To live each day in gentleness, to create joy out of this mess, to make the world the way that it should be. Seek peace in every step, seek peace. Spread light and hope in every breath. Tomorrow better for us all. Seek peace. Seek peace.
I hope everyone else appreciates the sentiment and the words in that song. That's just beautiful. But I do think that there's more to it than the historical story that you're telling. I think every word in that resonates for what we should be thinking and trying to do.
And that's kind of what that final verse is about, really. That sort of,
I must have played it about 5 times today in the car.
Oh, thank you.
Just had it on repeat, driving up and down the road. I was doing things. I was driving up and down the road. That would be a bit sad, really. Folks, if you all unmute yourselves, it'd be nice if perhaps, we all said hello and a few nice things to Alison. Brian, you have to unmute up at the top there. And Chris is unmute. Yeah, and the Mannings. Yeah. So we all said hello and a few nice things to Alison. Brian, you have to unmute up at the top. I think someone's got it playing on Facebook. Hold on. Chris is unmute. Yeah, and the Mannings. Yeah.
There's a delay there coming through.
There's a delay from somewhere. So doesn't matter.
Echo.
Yeah,
that last one could almost be a hymn, couldn't it? It was so lovely.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think Judy Collins was a good call from John earlier. There's a lot of that, and it was very beautiful stuff. Very much enjoyed it.
Thank you. Appreciate you watching. Thank you.
Oh no, well this is what it's about. So young Mr. Manning there. I mean, you're obviously involved with Liverpool Acoustic then in some way.
Well, we always go and support the events and support the artists. And then if we like somebody, we'll follow them. And we'll follow them to concert. And I think I picked up Alison many years ago when she sang as a duo. Is that right, Alison?
I don't think so, no.
Didn't you have your partner at the Baltic? couple
No.
of. You didn't.
No, always been on
Because-
my own. I've got a better half, but not a singer.
Did you not
Oh,
go
right.
to Honolulu for your wedding? And so, have I remembered rightly?
Yeah, to Maui, yeah, Hawaii.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, ukulele's originally Portuguese, but it's famous for Hawaii, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of went from Madeira to, it was like a little guitar from
Yeah.
Madeira, and then it transformed into
Yeah. But is that one you're playing today? The one?
yeah. This was I got this in Hawaii. Yeah.
I mean, that probably cost more than a honeymoon, I would imagine.
I don't know about that. It's a long way to Hawaii.
But I mean, must be lovely for someone who's a fan of the music and the instrument to go somewhere
yeah.
that's so special. And,
Yeah, it was
and
amazing.
I mean, had you ordered it before you went, or while you were there? How did
Oh
that-
yes, so I had it. Well, I knew what I wanted, so I had it custom designed by a company called Kanilea Ukulele, and they do really good like conservation work in Hawaii as well. So for every like tree they fall, they plant so many more because there's been a lot of deforestation in Hawaii. So they kind of they give a lot back to nature in that way. So it seemed like a good move, and they did everything that I wanted, and
Yeah.
it had a particular design I was after as well. So it was a
Yeah.
really nice experience.
Oh,
We got
no.
a tour of the factory.
Yeah. Aren't you lucky you got married and went a few years ago and it wasn't last year as well?
I know, it's true.
Mind you,
But
you
it's
can always
good.
catch up afterwards. I mean, as long as we're still here,
That's true. That's
things
true.
can happen in the future. So Christine and husband are down there at the bottom. Please feel rotten when we haven't had everyone join in. So please say something. And
we've really enjoyed. I've really enjoyed it. I presume you've really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been really lovely. Missed the gigs.
that's it, isn't it? I think that it took a little while to. We started this little show out as interviewing authors and poets. And then the thing is, we already knew people like Alison and John and Andrew was in earlier. So we're sort of slowly working towards rotating through a book, a poet, an author, and a musician. So each week there's a little bit different, but with a common theme that they're all people connected to the Northwest. The radio station that it goes out on is called Access Northwest. So if you just Google them or Alexa them, you can find the station, and there's loads of great shows. There's a guy who does the history of rock and roll. So if you ever want to know anything about, when did Buddy Holly meet somebody, he will know. Derek Shelmerdine, he's called. I don't know if you know him, but he's brilliant. Absolute. John would like him. I think John. I must introduce John to him because I think John's a bit of a musicologist on the quiet as well, aren't you?
I don't remember much about Buddy Holly. It was before my time. I mean,
I know that. Yeah, but you'll appreciate, And Brian up at the top. Have you been enjoying tonight?
Yes, it's been very relaxing tonight, Tony.
Yeah.
Just sat here quietly listening, lovely music.
Well, that's partly what we want, isn't it? We want to have the chance every so often to come together and share listening to someone. And hopefully, in the weeks to come, hopefully John will have time in a 3 or 4 weeks when he's finished mixing, recording, and such like to come online and do something like this. And I think Alan O'Hare, only child, he's kindly agreed, to come and do a session in a few weeks' time. So Ian, down at the bottom there, are you still? Yes.
put to sleep.
Yeah, he's been making notes. I've been watching him. He's been making notes down there. So feel free to
I'll just nothing like mad, unfortunately. It's just looking to see or even hear Alison perform, because as I said, I've not had the pleasure before, and I keep meaning to. But it's what with everything that's going on, and then me taking a step back from going out reviewing live stuff, it was just more important for me to actually have heard Alison, and it was lovely. So thank you, Alison.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
That's all right.
And
My pleasure.
And John, obviously you know Alison really well, but I mean, you're
sick of me.
No. But hopefully you'll be, spreading the word that for your own Facebook and everything, that we started a little group called Earshots, which Alison, I think you've seen today, or you might have already joined, which is linked into Ian's reviews, really. It's people Ian's reviewed, it's Ian's own poetry and writing. Point people at it, and if you've got a new song out and you are able to share a link to YouTube or your own Facebook page, pop them on there. And the idea is to pull everyone together in a little central place where we can all see, oh, look what Brian's done. Brian did a CD of Frank Sinatra songs, or that type of song, didn't you, Brian?
I did, yeah.
So
yeah, I did.
yeah. So a couple of weeks ago we played a few of those, and Brian had a chat about that. So and you've got what you're working on. I'm sure Andrew, who's disappeared off, has got stuff he's working on. But I feel if we can all have somewhere where we go to see what other people are doing, then it can be shared out from there, because everyone sometimes has their own page. If there's somewhere a bit more communal, hopefully it draws more people together. I mean, I know Cal Ruddy and Alan have been watching on Facebook tonight. Hopefully they're still there and they haven't nodded off.
Harry,
It is nearly bedtime.
It is nearly bedtime. It is. So
Right.
I'm going to play one more song off your CD, Alison, which is,
Okay.
I think, the song I first fell in love with, Black Pearls. And it's absolutely brilliant. Did this one win one of the songwriting challenges?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the audience vote. Yeah, it was in 2016, I think.
Well, it's
Yes.
got quite a macabre undertone to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's about murder. Yeah.
Just a little bit, yeah. They make
Yeah, my
a
sister
song-
played it.
Yeah.
My sister did a recording of me playing it and put it on Facebook, and this woman, one of her friends, commented and said, "Oh, that's a gorgeous song. It's just how I feel about my fella." I thought, I hope not.
Well, if you've not heard it before, although I think some of the people listening have, but if you've not heard it before, Alison's quite right. When the sound of the song sounds lovely, but listen to the words, because there's definitely something a little bit dark and sinister going on, isn't there? So when did this won? 2016, did you say, Mr. Manning? Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
The View 2 gallery.
Yeah.
Alison walked
Yeah,
it
it was, yeah.
Oh.
again.
Well, I think rightly so with this song, because it is genuinely absolutely brilliant. So we're going to play this one and then let everyone say goodbye to each other. So thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you to everyone who's over on Facebook Live, and thank you in advance to anyone who's listening when we go out on Access Northwest on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. This is Black Pearls. I love this song.
I sit and wait for you each night, just the same. I refill my glass, and as the hours pass, I wonder where you are. I gaze out the window. The moon deathly grey. My heart's turning cold, my heart's feeling old, and I don't think I'll see you today. You gave me black pearls and called me a world. You painted my picture, then threw me away. It's unfinished business today. We've got unfinished business today. had such great times. You set me on fire, but I never knew the true face of you. So I tumbled into your arms. Your gift of jewelry and your silver tongue, like a magpie I flew, my portrait you drew, and I fell deep for your charms. You gave me black pearls and called me your world. You painted my picture, then threw me away. It's unfinished business today. We've got unfinished business today. My sadness turned to madness, my love to hate, my thoughts to revenge. So here I wait. My lips are black with wine, and there's poison in the pot. And if you show up, I'll pour you a cup, and we might talk business today. You'll ask me what I want, and then you'll understand. I would have been your wife, now I just want your life. No unfinished business today. You gave me black pearls and called me your world. You painted my picture and threw me away. No unfinished business today. No more unfinished business today.
I suppose one thing we could all ask is, what are you reading at the moment, Alison? That's going to become a story in the future. Are you reading anything that's setting your mind at play?
For that story.
No, another one. What are you reading at the moment that might become a story, a song?
I don't know at the moment, actually. Nothing that would turn into a song, I think, at the moment.
When do you make the decision, so to speak? I mean, you've obviously, most of your songs are genuine, they're based on something, aren't they? There's something that triggers something in you. You read up on it, or you do a bit of research, and then you play with it in your head, and you make your own story, your song, and then you add the music. I mean, when do you know when you've heard something that it's going to come out as a song?
It like with a story, I suppose it's something that like nags at me, and I keep thinking about it, and then like I mean for any good song, there's like tons of rubbish ones as well. So so you play around with the words and tunes and chords, and it works. It doesn't, Are
you a good self-critic? Do you know when you shouldn't write a song? Then is that something that
I sometimes know when I should stop, and if something is if it's going nowhere. But sometimes I'll have a song and I'll play it for a while and I think it's okay, and then and then after a bit I think, oh, I didn't really like that song, you know. So there's a few I just don't play anymore.
And a few quick messages, because we'll let everybody go in a minute. But Ian Tinsley, who used to work with me at HCR, has been listening in. Thank you, Ian. Zoe from Crosby Writers, Christopher from Southport, Ian from Formby, James J. Turner, who's a singer himself, Karen from Southport, Warren, who's a Liverpool chap, John Rice, Lynn, Michael, Christian and Helen in Nottingham, and Dave and Heather and Karen and Holly. So we've had a few people listening in. Oh, what's Brian's holding something up here?
Oh no, I wasn't. I was just some poems that I've been writing, haven't I, again? So.
Oh, well, we'll let you share one of those in a sec, Brian. We'll let you.
Okay.
Anyway, folks, I think everyone, obviously all of us really, should say a huge thank you to Alison for giving up her time tonight, for performing, for telling us a bit about what goes on behind the scenes, really. So, Alison and John, when the stuff you're working on together, when might this be coming our way? When might you be performing with John?
Well, we haven't really decided, have we, Alison? We've
We haven't really known.
we're just enjoying the writing process, but because I was working on an album, I felt some of the songs that we'd written were good enough, better than mine, to go on the album, you know. And also, I was doing another project where I thought one of the songs we'd written might suit other people singing it. So that's 2 out of about 6, isn't it?
So you've written 6.
The other 4.
Yeah.
So is this going to be a duet album? Sorry, a duo, an album of as a duo, or are you going to bring other people in?
We haven't spoken about it really, have we?
So I'm putting you both on the spot. I'm not quite meaning to. It's
in my, you know, we've got this gig at the same time, so I'm sure we can arrange something for a couple of those songs to be played at least.
Yeah. So Chris and the Mannings, you need to keep an eye out for Facebook Live announcements. So you know, I'm sure John and Alison, once they know when things are happening, you'll tell everybody, and please do post it onto the Earshots page that we've got running with Ian and Andy. You know, hopefully it'll become a little bit of a central message board, and you know, when people have got gigs and things lined up, just post them so we can all share them on. Yeah.
And thanks, Tony, for having me on this evening and for your support. I really appreciate it.
It's an absolute pleasure. I mean, I was hoping Sally Ann, my friend, who I think
I've met. Yeah.
But she's joined an art club. She's out doing art. Yeah. She was gutted. I said, I've got Alison on next week. She went, I can't not go to, because I don't know, the meeting in Little Crosby and they're doing art club. But she'll catch up on Facebook Live and YouTube later. But Alison, we will let you say goodbye to everyone, and thank you very much for joining us tonight. And please write in beautiful songs, and hopefully once we're out of lockdown, which is coming, as many people as possible will see you play live. We'll go to whatever they buy their music from. Bandcamp, is that one of them? I'm not
on Bandcamp, but lots of other people are, of course,
Yeah, but if they just put Alison Benson and music into Google, they'll find your website. I got mine from iTunes, and obviously I got the CD today as well. You know, I just hope, I mean, I know the Mannings and Chris down there and John have already got everything that you released, but Brian and Alban, treat yourselves. You know.
Yeah, I might listen on Sunday if we can get onto that.
Yeah. Well, if Alison posts it up and tags me, I can.
I will do. Yeah.
If you just tag me, you can tag me anytime you're doing any gigs. You know, I mean, you know, I genuinely want people to connect to each other and find out what other people are doing, whether it's poetry, whether it's books, whether it's individuals singing. You know, as a singer-songwriter, whether it's collaborative in a duo or a band.
Tony, shut up. I need to go to the loo.
Go. Terrible. Anyway, listen, Mr. Manning, please.
Turn the camera off.
Yeah, we're going to turn the camera off now. So, everybody, thank you for joining in, and a huge. Can we all say thank you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really nice, thank you.
Anyone who wants to go. Thank you.
Go make lunch for tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alison.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Cheers, Tony.
Thank you.
Are you going to stop recording?
We can stop recording now, can't we? Yeah.